Good day and welcome to another edition of Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal. Your youthful program that delves into exciting discussions about young people in Africa. I am Augustine Cully, your host. Our discussion last week was about the relevance of fairy tales in modern day era. Today's episode takes a look at young people in fashion and modeling. In today's fashion-conscious world, young people have become a driving force in the ever-evolving realm of style and trends. The attraction of the fashion industry has captivated the hearts and aspirations of countless young individuals, leading them to explore various avenues of self-expression and creativity. One such avenue that holds immense appeal for adolescents is the world of modeling, specifically tailored for young people. This is because modeling offers an exciting and dynamic career path for those with a passion for fashion and allows youths to showcase their unique style, grace, and confidence while participating in a glamorous industry that shapes trends and influences popular culture. However, before going further, let's listen to Oyindamola Ajala, a young female fashion designer in Nigeria, as she shares her fashion experience with my colleague Oge Obierika.
Hello, Oyindamola Ajala. Welcome to the Youth Platform on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Thank you so much for the privilege. I'm honored to be here.
Kindly explain a little about yourself and how you became a fashion designer.
All right. I am a young lady in her mid-20s, recently graduated, and never knew she was going to be a fashion designer until a couple of years ago. I've had lots of stories with fashion designers and how they tend to, give people the wrong impression. Plus, I am a fashion person. I love fashion a lot and I love being creative. So I figured fashion was a means for me to, bring out the creativity in me and also let people enjoy and receive what I have in me as a gift. And that was how I was able to, start my journey as a fashion designer. And from then up until now, I've been able to create beautiful and timeless pieces for varieties of people, far and wide.
So how did you acquire the knowledge and skills of fashion designing?
Okay, for majority of people in the country here in Nigeria, we most times learn through a fashion academy, but I can say to an extent I was self-taught. I learned using basic instruments I had at home until I had a very wide knowledge, and then I interned with a fashion institute called JW Bridals. So I interned there for a year, and that was how I was able to get an upgraded version of fashion that we have today.
Tell us, what prompted you to choose this career path?
Fashion for me is a thing I love, and it is always beautiful when I see creations, outfits that I make on people and how it makes them look elegant, classy, and confident. So it kept giving me the urge to want to do more and create much more beautiful outfits for people, especially the modern day woman. So that was one of the reasons I chose that fashion has to be something I would love to always go for at any point in time. It is something you can wake me up at any time and I'll be willing and gladly do for anybody.
And what kind of fashion do you do?
I am into bespoke fashion designing. I make bespoke outfits, and I also do ready to wear. That is, I make outfits that are always made already for sales. And I also do bridal designs. So I make bridal outfits for brides to make them look special on their day.
So in your words, how would you describe fashion designing?
So fashion for me is a means to showcase creativity and merging inclusivity and ideas together to reflect my self-reflection, like to reflect my being as a person. So while I am a fashion designer, I am able to create clothing and accessories that gives you functionality as a person. So I'm able to express myself in my creations and my designs to people. So that's what fashion is for me. And also for sustainability, you're able to, the pieces I make for you are sustainable enough and timeless.
To wrap up, what are your recommendations to young people in Africa who are looking to get into fashion designing?
Okay, fashion design is not something that is going to go old anytime soon. So I would tell any young African or any young Nigerian that if you want to go into fashion, please delve into it. And whatever it is that you want to do, make sure you know how to do it at your best, because we don't go for mediocrity anymore. We go for the best. So if you want to thrive and you want to be well known, you have to give in your best. Grow with the trend and know what it is that is trending. Focus on sustainability, and the sky is just the starting point for that person.
That was Oyedamola Ajala, a young female fashion designer in Nigeria.
This is Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, 94.9 FM, Dakar.
For today's discussion, we are being joined by 4 potential young people from Liberia, Ghana, the Gambia, and Sierra Leone. Our first panelist is Bridget WADR, a dynamic fashion designer, millionaire, and skincare formulator with a passion for creativity and inclusiveness. As a disability and diversity advocate in Ghana, she champions representation in fashion and beauty, making a significant impact on both industries. The second panelist is Peter Nyanse from Liberia, an excellence-driven professional with enormous potential and anxiety in increasing efficiency, productivity, and strategic planning. Peter holds a bachelor degree in public administration from the African Methodist Episcopal University in Monrovia. Next is Yassa Diouf, the Chief Executive Officer and Creative Director at Yassa Africa Designs in the Gambia. Yassa has over 5 years' experience in the creative industries and excels in multiple creative domains. As a dancer, choreographer, fashion designer, and plus-size model, she has honed her ability to craft captivating and expressive performances that resonate with audiences. And we also have Daniel Bangura. Daniel is a student of mass communication at the Forabe College in Sierra Leone. He is a content creator, a plus-size male model at Hawawa Modeling Management and Image Consultancy in Freetown. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really well.
Thank you so much. It's good to be on this unique platform where we will discuss issues relating to youth empowerment and so forth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's a great honor to be here today with an open mind here.
Good afternoon, Boston, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a great honor to be part of this platform.
Let's begin with you, Bridget, to explain your knowledge about fashion design.
So once again, thanks for having me. So personally, as an African fashion designer, when I think fashion or when you talk about fashion, my mind immediately goes to trends. It immediately goes to style. It immediately goes to expression of oneself, because fashion is ultimately an expression of oneself, and it's also an art form when you basically, in a nutshell, ask me about what fashion is.
Thank you. Peter Nyanse, please share with us your understanding.
Thank you once again. Fashion is an art, a practice of designing and of crafting something. But beyond clothes, fashions, I think they include elements such as hairstyle, makeup, and other accessories. Personal image, those are some social narratives that include fashioning. That's how I see it.
I will come back to you about that. Let's hear from you, Yassai.
When it comes to in my own side, I can say it's an emotional contact and a feeling. Because of emotional contact, that is the reason why I can say fashion is a connection that somebody passionate about. If you're passionate about something, it's easy to create an artwork fashion is a feeling that connects somebody, an individual person, with the art craft. Thank you.
All right. Daniel, what's up with you?
All right. So my own little bit of understanding about fashion. For me, fashion is a way of telling story. Fashion for me is like building one's confidence. Fashion is showcasing your talents and so many more.
All right. Now, to you, Bridget, you talked about being a fashion designer. Would you mind sharing with us why you chose to be a fashion designer?
Thank you. So first and foremost, I've always been keenly interested and very, very attracted to the fashion industry and the fashion world. I love art. I love anything that helps me to express myself on a personal level. And I realized that fashion was one of the ultimate ways in which I could express myself. Through fashion, it's an extension of myself. It's an extension of my identity. And it also helps me to express my artistic side. So that was one of the things that actually prompted me to go into fashion. And I've always been very interested in clothing and accessories. So it was one of the main driving factors and forces behind me wanting to get into the fashion industry, basically. Thank you.
Okay, we'll come back to you to tell us more of how you've gone through that. But Peter Nyansa, you talk about some elements. You talk about some elements of fashion. Could you just clearly share with us what did you mean by some elements involving fashion?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moriweda. Let's delve in the current landscape of fashion in Matley, right? Social media have become a game changer. Young models and designers, they no longer need traditional gatekeepers to showcase their talent. So there are platforms like Instagram, TikTok, build their personal brand and reach global audience. So however, this visibility also comes with like immense pressure to constantly project their polished image. So people that are involved in fashion, for me specifically, I love artwork. I'm not a fashion designer, but I'm one person that believe that fashion goes beyond just the clothes. The elements such as hairstyle, makeup, people trying to project their values, their culture, their identity. Mm-hmm. Those are elements that ensure that the issue of fashion is highly people are being empowered to make immense impact across the landscape.
Thank you so far for that. Let's hear from you, Yasai. Share with us, what do you think of the fashion industry? What sort of fashion interests you the most?
So I'm interested in creative wear for artists and dancers. I'm more into stage. Particularly, I am a dancer before coming into fashion. Knowing me being on stage, understanding what to wear and what I will be comfortable on stage made me a fashion designer today. So I'm more into artistic work, think out of the box, create anything that you can see or touch or feel. That is my most interested part, even though sometimes we just go into fashion to get resources to maintain the place we are specialized into. But Gambia here, the fashion industry is a turn by turn. I don't know how to say it, but I'm more focused into artistic work when it comes to models with their photo shoot, their background decorations, and when it comes to dancers, the outdoor shooting, the indoor shooting. When it comes to artists, your video clips, how and what you want to wear. I can also consult on the location you want to shoot your videos, depending on the outfit that I make. So I'm more focused into artists and dancers with models, yeah.
Okay, we'll come to the other part of that. But I would like to know, the men can also share light on this, beginning with you, Daniel. Is fashion only for beautiful ladies or handsome men?
I totally disagree with you, Augustine, because fashion is for everybody, both male and female. And more importantly, as I just stated, as fashion is one of the way of telling our story, maybe through our culture and so many other ways. But in as much, not only the ladies are supposed to be beautiful, the men also need to showcase their handsomeness and also their own portrait. You can say as well beauty. So fashion is for both men and also for the women.
Okay, so Daniel says it cuts across the spectrum. It's not only for beautiful or handsome people. What's about you, Peter Nyanse?
Okay, like my brother regularly stated, fashion is not only for women. Fashion is for everyone, regardless of gender. While it's true that women fashion, they historically receive more attention on media and public culture, but also men fashion as well is a fashion too that is inclusive, and equally so it is significant and involving.
But what do you think the women receive more attention in the fashion industry?
Well, before I get there, when it comes to the men's fashion, there are most men that will showcase streetwear or men's fashion is dynamic. In fact, it is growing the industry. There are designers that create a wide range of clothing style trends specifically for men, encouraging more classic footwear to experimental events. Historically, both men and women have played significant role, my brother, in shaping fashion. In some areas, culture, men's fashion was even more elaborate and colorful than women. I believe so. And I guess my colleagues will agree with me. For instance, during the Renaissance period, men wore some strategic garments and accessories. But in recent years, men's fashion have resurgence. So women have been more passionate and more involving than men. Okay. But equally so, we cannot take away there was times back in the era that men was more predominant in fashion design. So when women are being more predominant at this time, in this particular age, is commendable. We commend them for that. And it is something I think we all, as the men, should still get involved in and be able to do better.
Okay, so just before I leave you, why do you think the women are more predominant in these times of our fashionable lifestyle?
So, given the historic setting, fashion culturally has been associated with femininity, beauty, and luxury. Women predominantly, they are involved in fashioning more than men. So the fashion industry and the media, they have targeted more women. I think they have done that because it's driven on the belief that the primary consumer of clothing and beauty products as a result is women. So women have strong presence in fashion as consumers.
Let's hear from Bridget. What do you make of what Nyanse is saying? Is he praising you people, or you have some disagreement with him?
No, I completely agree with what Nyanse is saying, because, whatever we see is exactly what the industry wants us to see. They actually project narratives and cause us to think a certain way. And because women or females have a higher purchase power, because women like to buy things. Women are always trying to consume and always trying to get new things. A man gets one or two things, he's okay. Women want to get everything they see, and therefore all the campaigns are targeted at women because they are a lot more fickle and they tend to consume at a higher rate than men. But it's not that men are not involved in fashion. It's more like women are being targeted more. And that's why you see the campaigns targeting women more as opposed to men. But I think times are changing, and I think now things are kind of leveling up a little bit. And you see people, or you see the market actually trying to capture the attention of both men and women equally. But women consume fashion at a faster rate than men. And that is why all the campaigns are actually targeted at them, in my opinion. So yes, I agree with what Nyanse is saying.
But again, Bridget, what? Yes.
Can I come in?
Yeah, Daniel, come in, Daniel.
All right. So, relating to what my fellow panelists have just stated, and if we could look back time memorial, we can see when it comes to fashion, like women are always at the front space, taking the lead when it comes to fashion. But as we are living in a modern world right now, everything has changed. And for me particularly, why I joined the modern agency as a plus size, not because I want to be popular, not because I wanted to be in the front line, or rather be seen in the media and all other places you could think of. One of the reasons I joined the modern agency is to showcase that plus size people, not only for plus size, but for men rather, that we also can be presentable, we also can look good, we also can look, be fashionable. And we are living in a world right now, even men are also competing with women when it comes to fashion. Men are not only sitting behind, men are also showcasing their beauty, showcasing their handsomeness. When it comes to fashion, it looks like we are competing right now because everybody wants to showcase his or own style. So men also can be presentable. That's one thing I believe for, because we see fashion only for women, and fashion is not only for women of time memorial, because women have already taken the lead, and it's high time men are also taking the lead, that men also can be presentable, also look fashionable as well.
Well, Yasa, how do you think fashion affects our lives, especially those people who engage into fashion?
Okay, I think it affects our life because we are not having support from our own side in our country here. We have a lot of fashion designers here in the Gambia. It's a lot. A lot. But knowing, being in the Gambia and in the country and having a lot of fashion designers and copying from one another, it's affecting us a lot in our industry. So it's like we don't have a copyright here with outfits. That also affects our branding. And also relative support and our society, the way they think fashion is. You can make a clothes here and it's an open clothes. They start judging you as a bad fashion designers, or we have criticized people in our areas. I hope maybe that is general. People like the creative industry, and I like a lot of my own people, my own artists, and my own dancers. But that doesn't mean for me to stop doing my fashion. But we also need people from our side to support us so that we can keep going. So we face a lot of challenges or a lot of things that affect us when it comes to fashion. We don't have a lot of materials that Ghana has or Nigeria. Also affects our fashion because the things that we get, it's either we have it from Senegal to come here. Apart from that, we don't have materials. That affects our designs too. Me as a fashion designer, want to create something that is new, that is updated, but having the materials or having the things that we need in the Gambia here also affects me as a fashion designer.
Yasa just said some interesting thing about challenges of fashion design in the Gambia. I don't know how is it like in Sierra Leone, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Liberia, but let's hear from you. How is it like in Liberia, Peter Nyansi?
Thank you so much. So Liberia is a nation that I think the issue of fashion design, we need to do a lot more. And I think institutions that are responsible to give full support to fashion design institutions, young people that are involved, that have the passion, the talent, the capability, the desire to explore the fashion world. I think institutions that are responsible to give financial help and encourage these people are not doing the needful. So one of the things I've seen is there is low budgetary support for young people who have aspiring, who have that gift. Everybody will not go to school and get bachelor degree, a master's degree. People can make impact in various kinds of ways. But irrespective of low budgetary support for people that have that passion, government encouraging them and helping them, sponsoring their work abroad, young people in Liberia are still making their way. And I must commend them for that. They use their various social media platform. Take, for example, there's a sister of mine that's in Liberia. Her name is Josephine Koluba, Coffee with Jojo. She used her Facebook platform to attract thousands of audience of support in what she believes in. So I know that we need some external support for national government or other partners. But even though if it is not coming at this time and you have that passion to do it, you cannot sit there. That's why I believe that once there is a will, there will be a way. So there have been low support. They have not been encouraging people in terms of support or what have you. The system have not been working. But I must commend the young people for having the balls, the courage to stand up and prove what they have they can show to the world. And Liberians are one of the successful and brilliant people when it comes to fashion and craft.
Thank you. What's about you, Bridget? What can you identify as challenges of fashion design in Ghana?
There are a couple of challenges that the industry is facing here in Ghana. And one of the main challenges is a lack of support from government, as Yasa made the same comments. it's like there's not enough support in the fashion industry. So it's primarily something that is from the private sector. And if someone wants to have a startup and doesn't have the funds, they are not going to be able to push their business to the next level as opposed to other areas. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is the fact that because there's a lack of funding, there's a lack of focus, you realize that the space is being dominated by luxury and high end because everybody's only looking to get local fashion made only when it's maybe a naming ceremony or a wedding reception or your bridals or a party or something very high end. It's only the luxury people. All the designers are fighting for a slot in that one space. There's a lack of people going into the commercial fashion because it's difficult to be able to get the funding to produce on a larger scale. And aside from us lacking funding to produce on a larger or commercial scale, we realize that we have the imported goods competing with the local fashion industry. So you've got a lot of this second-hand clothing coming in. So people would rather opt to purchase second-hand clothing for their commercial use or for their everyday ready-to-wear use, as opposed to getting something made from a local designer. So any local designer wants to go into ready-to-wear, they don't really thrive. Their market, target market is very, very small, and it's very difficult to build and to grow. So everybody's in the same pool, searching for the same small, high-end luxury clientele. Whereas if we had that funding, we'll be able to produce ready-to-wear on a larger commercial scale. And we could only do that if we totally get rid of all the second-hand clothing coming in. That's going to be able to focus on the second-hand as opposed to focusing on actually building our own textile and fashion industries here in Ghana. So those are the main two things that we're facing here in Ghana.
Let's conclude this segment with you, Daniel. Challenges of fashion design in Sierra Leone.
Well, oh my, Augustine. So as my fellow panelists have just stated, like it's the same thing when it comes to Sierra Leone. There are a lot of young people, as we all know now, that young people are ruling right now. And the main important thing is that when it comes to fashion, it's all about creativity. It's all about your talent. It's about what you can showcase and a lot more. So one of the challenges we are facing in Sierra Leone is the platform. We need the platform, and more importantly as well, we need people to support. Like you can showcase your style, your outfits, but people to come on board to come and support you. I mean, obviously it has to come through money, or rather so many other ways, but we need people to come and support. We need people to come and create the platform for us. There are a lot of challenges. I can't name them, but there are a lot of challenges, and one main challenges we are facing is like the platform, but also the support as well.
We have shared our respective understanding about fashion, the types of fashion, its impact on young people, among other key points of the discussion. Let's now take a break with the song titled Belinda by Ghanaian singer Kwame Eugene. Ghanaian singer Kwame Eugene with the song Belinda. Welcome back to Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting from Dakar, Senegal. And we are still discussing young people in fashion and modeling. We are now resuming the conversation with a focus on young people in modeling. And Bridget, please take the lead from here.
When I think about a model, or in my line of work, a model is simply, I kind of call them the human mannequins, because they're basically a mannequin that you're showcasing your designs, the creativity, the garments, the accessories, whatever on them. They simply market and sell whatever goods that the designers have created. So they're more like just the face that is, or the body that showcases the creativity, what has been created, and how it's supposed to, or how it should look, or look appealing to the consumer. So a model is basically a person whose sole job is to sell whatever it is that has been given to them to sell and to market.
Okay, that's interesting. Peter Yancey, you care to share a light about this, please?
So I agree with what my sister said, a model is an individual that have been given that responsibility to showcase something, or a product, advertising something. But there are types of models. There are those that do the fashion. There are those that do the runways. There are those that are responsible for the editorial. There are also commercial models too. And there are fitness models, those that normally do this, or the fitness thing showcase. So they are just individual. At the end of the day, their aim and objective is to showcase a brand or trend or product. But there are various types and kinds.
All right,
Thank you.
I will get back to you on that. Let's hear from Daniel.
Well, being a model for me is showcasing a brand, showcasing your skills, your ability. But again, being a model as well, you are representing something. It can be a brand, your country, your community, and so many other ways. But more importantly, it's about you showcasing what you have there. People claim I'm a model. Show me that you're a model. So showcase your ability, showcase your skills. I need to prove you're a model. Show me what makes you a model. So basically, being a model, you are representing something. You are showcasing something, or rather, as an individual or a brand.
Oh, that's wonderful. But I'm concerned about the characteristics. What are those things to consider being a model? Let me hear from Bridget.
So personally, and in my experience so far, I've realized that when you're looking for a good model, you're looking for the person that can sell whatever is given to them. So if you put them in a ball gown, or you put them in a sack, a rice or cocoa sack, or you give them a pair of flip-flops, whether you give them a bowl to sell, they should be able to make sure that whoever is looking at what they're selling would want to buy it. So whatever you put on a model, the model has a responsibility to make sure that people want to consume it. When I'm looking at a model, I want someone who is able to make the product look good. No matter who it is, they have to make the product sell. I don't really look at facial features or body features or whatever, but they need to have that flair, something extra. They need to have the ability to make people want whatever it is that I've given to them to showcase and to sell. So basically, I look for the one that can market the product the most, who can market it so well that everybody really they see it and they want it, regardless of whether it's a good product or not, but they want it because the model has really, really done the job of selling it. So that's what I personally look for in a model.
All right, that's also good. But I'm concerned again about how a model's life is like. How described their lifestyle? And I will want to hear from you, Peter.
So, first and foremost, when you are a model influencer, just know that you are a celebrity. So it comes with some standards, most standard of morality and ethics in terms of how you govern yourself, because the modeling industry can be physically and mentally demanding. Mind you, there are long hours of extensive travels. And you have to know that there is intense competition in the industry, the modeling industry, intense competition. So most industry or most agency they'll put immense pressure on that individual because they want to know your body standard. Yes, you must be physically attractive, women specifically physically attractive, and no offense to women. That's why you see women nowadays that are involved in that. They go to the extra mile, they spend a whole lot on their body to look attractive, to look representing, to set that body standard. Because models, as they are essential figures, they set the trend because they know that whatever they do, it will influence the consumer behavior through that work. So that's why they must be physically attractive. That's one thing. It is obvious. That's one thing most companies go for. Physically attractive. If you're a man, they want to see 6 packs. That's why you see most of our brothers go to the gym and do and so forth. So it comes with a whole lot. It comes with a whole lot of stuff to be doing. And even our sisters too, you see them going to the gym. Sometimes you will see a whole lot. So there's a lot of requirement. It comes with discipline.
So just to ask you for the question to what you're saying, does modeling also come with the body structure? Maybe the size of the female or the male? Is it whether you are a thin person, whether you are someone with a big body, huge person, or choppy lady or the handsomeness or beauty of the man or woman?
There are types of models. There are people that do the fitness. And once it comes to that, there are models that shows their body, those specific part of their body, their hand, their feet, their back. And when they're showcasing these jewelries, this brand, you must be very attractive. They will polish their nails very nicely. They fix their hair, their lip, they paint it that kind of a pink size. And there are some earrings from our sisters, no offense, they go to the extreme of doing surgery because there is a requirement. Even if you see people doing they passing trade, people want to be Miss this, Miss Liberia, Miss West Africa. There are a lot of requirements for that. And one of the requirements, I believe, is your physical appearance matters. I'm not seeing a model that will not go in the gym. That is one of their habits. It is one of the requirements. They will always go in the gym.
But before I leave you, Peter, do you have a supermodel so far? Maybe a favorite supermodel that you like, maybe following or admire that person or that supermodel? Do you have one?
Yeah, there are a couple of people that I love their work. A couple of models that they do a lot of good stuff, specifically in Africa, precisely for Nigeria. What her name? This lady, Uchi Motana, she do a lot of burning. She's from Nigeria. She do a lot of burning. And even the Uchi Motana I'm talking about, she's someone that go to the gym every time. And they even go to the extent of changing their names. For example, my name is Peter Yakpawolo, and I'm dealing with client international partners. The international partners can not understand my name Yakpawolo. I could change my name to Peter Marcuson. So there are too many things they do.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
To you, Daniel, what do you think about how models' life should be? And if you have some favorite supermodels, please share with us. Like Peter Yancey has already said who his supermodel is.
Speaking of the model's life, your life can be simple, general as everybody, but it comes with a price as well. Being a model is just not about your facial, beauty, and it's not about your body. It's not about how talented you are as a model. But one of the main key thing as a model you should possess is your personal hygiene. I don't know if it comes with your questions, and your personal hygiene is one of the main key thing that makes you a model. I mean, you can't be a model and you're not taking care of yourself, your body, your skin tone, whatever, any part of your body. So being a model, your life can be as simple, but it comes with a price as well. So you need to take care of that as well. But more importantly, your personal hygiene, how you keep yourself, your healthy, how you live your life healthily, your interaction with people as well. So your life can be as normal, but it comes with a price. And again, when it comes to having a supermodel, correct?
Do you have a favorite supermodel?
Well, being a plus size model, generally, okay, I'm going to put this question in this way. So I'm going to say, I don't.
Wow. So you're not following any of them that you like so far?
So, okay, can you give me a chance to a little bit brief?
Yeah, maybe you think about that. Then we'll get back to you. But this question is playing on my mind. I would like to know whether there are bad attributes of models. The outside you are also engaged with them. We're concerned about some negative attributes or attitudes of models. Would you mind sharing with us your own understanding about some of those negative things or bad things about models?
Okay, we have a lot of negative aspect in the Gambia here, because you being a woman here or you being a lady, they thought being a model is a way of being a prostitute. Sorry for saying that word, but that is how they look at us in the Gambia here. And if that happens, our parents will definitely stop us from doing models. We have so many young Gambians who are interested in models because of the society, what they talks about the model, the negative things they say about being a model, that the dress code. So most of the parents will stop their kids because they don't want to see their kids exposed. That is why we are fighting against the narrative, because nowadays, because people are using social media a lot, so we as models and we've been in the creative industry and we've been a fashion designer. We are trying to change the narrative. That's why we don't allow our young people to expose their body a lot, because we're trying to change our parents' negativity they have in a model is a bad thing. Or if you're a model, you're going to wear bikini. If you're a model, you expose your body in the social media. So this is the negativity that we have in our country here. So we are trying to make sure that all of these things are changed, so that the young youths that come in interested in model, because we have kids modeling, but we face a lot of challenges with their parents. We have to go front and back to make sure that their parents allow them to do modeling.
Yasia, what are your recommendations to these challenges and negative attributes?
My recommendation is to use their social medias and make sure that they also come out and sensitize about their model career. So especially the top models, if they come out on social media, explain to people how they work or how the industry works. It also helps the young ones coming up to inspire them a lot. So my recommendation is the models also to try and watch videos, practice well, make sure they also be contracted. This is the issue that we work in here in the Gambia. You see a full-time model working for free without any payment. I recommend them that make sure you're proper trained and make sure that you work with an agency that will help you earn money from your work, because in any career you would go into, you're doing it to get something out of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yasia. Let's now hear from you, Daniel, please.
Getting into the fashion and modeling as a person, I mean, it's going to be an exciting journey, to be honest. And one of the things I would say again is that, especially those who want to be a model, like one key question you need to know, or one quick key thing you need to have in mind is that you need to choose your niche. Like, what type of model you want to become? Do you want to be a fashion model, a commercial model, or a runway model? You have to create a strong portfolio for yourself. Like, you have to have a professional, high quality pictures. And as well, this is my recommendation, Augustina.
Thank you. So let's just get the recommendation of Bridget.
Okay, so my recommendations. There's a lot of stereotypes that surround the fashion and the modeling agency, and a lot of them are cultural because of our cultural backgrounds as Africans. And I think we need to start dispelling them so that the fashion and modeling agencies can thrive. There's a lot of negativity because of the way that a lot of people perceive the modeling and the fashion industry. We need to do away with these things so that we can be able to thrive. I believe that Africa is the next big thing for fashion. We are steadily taking over, and we need to be able to put all our A's in the line and dot all our T's and make sure we have things and systems in place to make sure that we can be able to not only compete with the West, but overcome and take over, because we have everything that it takes to dominate on the world fashion space. But we need to put things in place, and we need to change some of these stereotypes that are holding us back. Thank you.
This is where we conclude today's episode of Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal. Many thanks to you, dear listeners, for joining the discussion on young people in fashion and modeling. Remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. I am Augustine Cully, wishing you all the best.
We thank you for listening to this program in Nigeria on Darling FM 107.3 Owerri, Southeast. We thank our listeners in Liberia on Alternative Youth Radio 98.9 FM, Nova County, Kwakete Radio 100.9 FM, Bargan, DCN Radio 91.3 FM, Riverses, in Sierra Leone. We thank our listeners on African Young Voices, Freetown, Radio Bath 91.3 FM, in Ghana, Radio Pod, Savannah Region, Reals FM 104.7 Wenchi, in the Gambia on Numi FM 94.0 North Bank Region, Radio Veritas 102.9 FM The Gambia.